Two continents, one concept, completely different results. Americans are building Barndominiums from steel kits for $115 to $150 per square foot and calling it a revolution. Europeans have been doing the same thing for centuries, using stone, timber, and strict government codes that would make most American builders quit on day one. And right now, in 2026, the gap between how these two worlds build, regulate, design, and live in Barndominium homes has never been more fascinating or more telling. Here is the thing nobody talks about. One version can get you financed at your local bank. The other might sit under a heritage protection law that controls the color of your front door. By the end of this video, you will know which version is honestly better, which gives you more freedom, which costs less when all is said and done. And there is one major difference at the very end of this video that most people completely overlook, and it could be the deciding factor if you ever plan to build. Stay with me. If you are serious about alternative housing and you want the real story without the fluff, hit subscribe right now and tap the notification bell. We cover Barndominium homes, alternative builds, and rural property with honest numbers and zero sugarcoating. The origin story, how each version was born. Let's go back to where both versions actually came from, because understanding the origin explains almost every difference you will see today. In America, the Barndominium as we know it was born in the rural South, particularly Texas, in the early 2000s. Farmers and rural landowners needed affordable structures they could live in while operating their land. Steel was cheap, kits were available, and building codes in rural counties were flexible. The word Barndominium itself was first used by real estate developer Carl Nilsson in Connecticut in a completely different context, referring to a luxury community built around horses. Then in 2016, Chip and Joanna Gaines featured one on HTV's Fixer Upper, and the entire country went wild. What had been a practical rural workaround became a mainstream housing movement almost overnight. By 2026, Barndominiums represent roughly 15% more of the rural housing market than they did just 2 years ago. In Europe, the concept is centuries older and goes by a completely different name. They call them barn conversions. Farmers across France, Germany, the Netherlands, and the United Kingdom had been living in converted agricultural structures long before the American Barndominium trend existed. In France alone, thousands of stone and timber barns sitting unused after rural depopulation in the 20th century became primary residences. In the UK, Dutch barn conversions using historic iron frames are now some of the most architecturally celebrated homes in the country. The Wikipedia definition of Barndominium actually acknowledges this directly, noting that outside the US, a project of this type would typically be called a converted barn, and sheet metal would not be a characteristic element. That right there is the first major difference. America builds new, Europe converts old. And that single distinction drives almost every cost, legal, and design difference that follows. But here is where it gets really interesting. Converting an old European barn can cost more per square foot than building brand new in America. Yet European barn homes often sell for dramatically more at resale. The reason why will surprise you. Design and aesthetics, what they actually look like. Walk past an American Barndominium and you will typically see a large metal or post frame structure, board and batten siding, a simple gable or gambrel roof, and big overhead garage doors on one end. The exterior is clean, functional, and modern. Inside you find open concept living, soaring ceilings, exposed steel or wood framing, and a flexible floor plan that the owner has shaped entirely around their lifestyle. The aesthetic in 2026 trends are leaning heavily toward dark metal exteriors, with large black-framed windows, wrap-around porches, and an industrial farmhouse feel. It looks sharp, it photographs beautifully, and it clearly communicates what it is. Now walk past a European barn conversion. What you see depends entirely on which country you are in. In France, you might see a 15th century stone structure with thick walls, small original windows, and a clay tile roof, completely preserved on the exterior, but fully modernized inside. In the Netherlands, a converted Dutch barn might feature its original iron frame wrapped in contemporary glass panels. In Germany, timber frame structures called Fachwerk are protected by heritage laws and must maintain their visual identity regardless of what happens inside. In Scandinavia, the barn influence shows up in modern new builds through minimalist wood cladding, massive windows, and the design philosophy of hygge, which prioritizes coziness, natural light, and connection to the surrounding landscape. European Barndominium design is not a blank canvas the way the American version is. It is a negotiation between what was and what you want now. And for many Europeans, that constraint is actually what makes the result so beautiful. The character is baked into the building already. You are not manufacturing charm, you are uncovering it. But what happens when a European builder decides to build new in the Barndominium style rather than convert an existing structure? The answer reveals a fascinating clash between innovation and regulation that is reshaping the housing conversation across the continent right now. Building codes and regulations, where it gets complicated. This section is critical because it is where the dream of building a Barndominium in Europe can either thrive or completely collapse. In the United States, building codes for Barndominiums vary significantly by state and county. States like Texas, Mississippi, Tennessee, and Alabama are widely considered the most barndo-friendly in the country, with relaxed rural zoning and flexible residential code interpretations. In these areas, you can often build a metal-framed residential structure on rural land with relatively straightforward permitting, particularly if you are outside municipal jurisdiction. Even in stricter states like California, New York, or New Jersey, the challenge is more about cost and complexity than an outright ban. The key American code framework, the International Residential Code, is adopted by most states with local modifications, and lenders increasingly require HUD-compliant foundations to qualify for financing in 2026. In Europe, the regulatory environment is fundamentally different and significantly more complex. In the UK, you need planning permission to convert a barn to residential use, and local planning authorities can reject applications based on landscape impact, heritage concerns, or building character. France has its own system of planning declarations and permits that vary by region, and any structure near a classified monument, which covers enormous swaths of the country, faces additional scrutiny. Germany goes even further with its strict heritage building laws, the Denkmalschutz system, which can require government approval for anything from replacing a window to painting a wall on a classified structure. The Netherlands enforces rigorous energy efficiency requirements for new residential construction under the BENG standards, which mandate near-zero energy performance. Here is the honest truth for anyone dreaming of a European barn conversion. The regulatory process is longer, more expensive, and more restrictive than in America. But the result when you navigate it successfully is a home that holds extraordinary resale value precisely because its authenticity has been protected by law. And now we hit the cost comparison. And this is where most people watching have a moment of genuine shock because the numbers are not what you expect. The real cost comparison, USA versus Europe. In 2026. In the United States, in 2026, a fully finished Barndominium typically costs between $115 and $150 per square foot for a mid-range build, with the national average total project cost sitting around $230,000. Basic builds can come in at $70 to $100 per square foot. Premium custom builds with high-end finishes run $150 to $200 or more. A steel shell kit for a 40 by 60 building runs $26,000 to $52,000 for materials alone, which represents only 15 to 25% of the total finished project cost. The biggest budget wildcard in American Barndominiums is the interior finishing, where the difference between basic and high-end selections can swing a budget by $40,000 to $80,000 or more on a 2,000 square foot home. Bringing utilities to undeveloped rural land can add another $30,000 to $75,000 to the total. In Europe, comparing costs requires a different framework entirely because you are almost always looking at two different scenarios: converting an existing historic structure or building a new barn-inspired home from scratch. For new construction in Germany in 2026, residential construction costs run between 3,500 and 5,500 euros per square meter, which translates to roughly $325 to $510 per square foot. That is significantly higher than US costs, driven by strict energy efficiency standards, higher labor costs, and rigorous code compliance requirements. A modest 2,000 to 2,500 square foot new build in Germany with mid-range finishes falls in the 300,000 to 500,000 euro range. For a barn conversion in France or the UK, the cost range is equally wide and heavily dependent on the condition of the existing structure. A well-preserved stone barn in rural France might cost 150,000 to 300,000 euros to purchase, and another 150,000 to 400,000 euros to convert to a finished residence, depending on scope. In the UK, Dutch barn conversions using historic iron frames have been completed for as little as £200,000 and as much as £800,000 for premium architectural projects. The honest cost picture is this: American barndominiums are cheaper to build new, full stop. But European conversions of existing historic structures often appreciate significantly better because the supply of genuine historic agricultural buildings is finite and declining, while demand for character homes in the European market remains extremely strong. But there is one area where Europe is beating America comprehensively right now in 2026, and it is something American barndominium builders are starting to pay attention to very seriously. We are talking about energy efficiency, and the gap between the two continents on this issue is enormous. Energy efficiency, the European advantage. This is the area where European barndominium culture is genuinely ahead, and it matters enormously for long-term cost of living. American barndominiums are built with varying levels of energy efficiency. The most critical decision is insulation, with spray foam being the gold standard at $1.50 to $5 per square foot. But many builds still use less effective options to save on upfront costs. HVAC systems, windows, and air sealing vary widely by builder and budget. In short, American barndominiums can be incredibly energy efficient if you invest correctly, but the market does not require it. Many owners report higher than expected utility bills from builds where insulation was under-prioritized. In Europe, energy efficiency is not optional. The Netherlands enforces the BENG standards, requiring near-zero energy performance for all new residential construction. Germany's GEG regulations set some of the tightest insulation and mechanical system requirements in the world. Even in countries with less strict national codes, the EU's broader push toward climate neutrality in the building sector is driving minimum performance standards higher every year. European barn conversions almost universally include triple-glazed windows, high-performance insulation systems, heat recovery ventilation, and increasingly, integrated solar or geothermal systems. The result is that a European barndominium-style home typically costs significantly less to heat and cool annually than its American counterpart, even though it costs more to build. In Germany, a well-built residential structure meeting current standards might use 30 to 50% less energy per year than a comparable American barndominium with standard insulation. Now we are getting to the most important comparison of this entire video, the one difference that matters most if you are actually planning to build, buy, or invest. This is the cliffhanger, and you will want to stay for it. Lifestyle, community, and cultural fit. One thing that rarely gets discussed in the American barndominium conversation is how deeply the concept is tied to a specific lifestyle philosophy: personal freedom, land ownership, self-sufficiency, and the right to build what you want on your own property. The American barndominium movement is fundamentally an expression of individual liberty. You buy rural land, you build what works for you. You combine home and workshop under one roof because it makes your life better, and nobody tells you it has to look a certain way. This philosophy is genuine, and it is powerful, and it is a big reason the market has grown so dramatically. By 2026, barndominiums are no longer just a rural Texas thing. They are appearing in rural Ohio, Missouri, Arkansas, Colorado, and increasingly on the edges of growing suburban markets where land is still affordable. In Europe, the cultural relationship with agricultural buildings is entirely different. These structures are not blank canvases, they are heritage assets. They carry the history of the land, the community, the farming practices of generations. Converting a barn in rural France is not just a building project, it is an act of cultural preservation. The neighbors care about what you do with it. The planning authority cares. The regional identity is embedded in those buildings in a way that has no real American equivalent. This is not a criticism of either approach. It is an observation that the two continents are solving the same basic problem: how to create affordable, meaningful, flexible housing from agricultural structures through completely different cultural lenses. So which approach actually wins when you weigh everything up? Cost, design, regulation, energy efficiency, lifestyle, and resale value? The answer is genuinely nuanced, and we are going to be completely honest with you right now. The cliffhanger and honest verdict here is the truth that most comparison articles will not give you, and it is the single biggest difference that nobody talks about. In America, your barndominium is primarily an asset you build for yourself and your lifestyle. The market rewards function. You get a lot of space for your money. You get freedom of design. You get a home that serves your specific way of living. And if you build wisely and finish neutrally, you can sell it without too much difficulty in rural markets. But here is the reality. Barndominiums in the US appreciate at roughly 2 to 3% per year, compared to 4% for traditional homes. In suburban markets, they can actually lose value relative to comparable conventional homes because the buyer pool is narrower. In Europe, a successfully converted historic barn is one of the most coveted property types in the market. The supply is literally finite. There are only so many 17th century stone barns in rural Provence, only so many Dutch barn iron frames in the Netherlands, only so many Fachwerk timber structures in Germany. When one is converted beautifully and meets modern living standards while preserving its heritage character, it commands a premium that few other residential property types can match. These homes regularly sell for 30 to 60% above comparable new build prices in their areas. So here is the verdict, and we are going to be direct with you. If you want maximum space for minimum upfront cost, design freedom, a home and workshop combination that serves your lifestyle, and a build you can complete relatively quickly on rural land, the American Barndominium wins without question. The cost advantage is real, the flexibility is unmatched, and the lifestyle fit for the right person is genuinely exceptional. If you want a home with irreplaceable character, a building that connects you to centuries of agricultural history, a structure that is legally protected from the kind of development pressure that can erode neighborhood value, and a property with premium long-term appreciation in a market that deeply understands and values what you have, the European barn conversion has advantages that simply cannot be replicated by building new. But here is the cliffhanger we promised you at the start. The fastest growing trend in 2026 is not purely American barndominiums or purely European barn conversions. It is American builders who are starting to intentionally incorporate European design philosophies into their barndominium builds. Stone accents, triple-glazed windows, Scandinavian minimalist interiors, French country aesthetic touches, and rigorous energy efficiency standards that mirror what Europe requires by law, but America leaves as a choice. These hybrid builds are outperforming standard American barndominiums on both lifestyle satisfaction and resale appeal in markets where alternative housing is gaining acceptance. The builders who figure out how to bring these two worlds together, American cost efficiency and freedom, combined with European design quality and energy standards, are building what might be the most compelling version of this housing concept that has ever existed. And we will be covering that hybrid approach in detail in an upcoming video right here on this channel. If this comparison opened your eyes to how different these two worlds really are, go ahead and drop in the comments which version appeals to you more, the American barndominium or the European barn conversion, and tell us why. Your input actually shapes the content we create next. Hit like if you found this honest and useful. Subscribe if you want to keep following the alternative housing conversation with real numbers, real comparisons, and no fluff. We will see you in the next one.